Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
I was trying to get the link.
Start again.
We start again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Ball. I'm Collie, and this week I'm joined by Conor. Conor, what's happening?
How's things?
Big Paddy. Paddy, what's happening?
What do you mean live?
Yeah, live. What? Lads, we're watching the second leg of Chelsea versus Real Madrid. 2-0 to Real Madrid on aggregate so far. Chelsea have named the most defensive team I've probably ever seen a Chelsea team have.
That's just because Chelsea can't score. Even their forwards are now defensive because they can't even score.
That's
I can't argue. I wish I could argue, but I really can't. So I'll run through the teams real quick, lads. Right. So for Chelsea, it's Kepa in goal, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, and Fofana as the back three. Reece James and Cucurella as the wing backs. N'Golo Kante, Enzo Fernandez, and Kovacic in the middle, with Gallagher sitting in front. Apparently, I don't think that's actually happening. But and Kai Havertz. It actually looks, looking at it here, it actually looks like Kante is sitting in the number 10 role. But we'll see how that plays out. And for Real Madrid have Thibaut Courtois in goal, Caraval right back, Militao, Alaba, and Camavinga. Then you have Valverde, Modric, and Kroos in the middle, with Vinicius Jr., Benzema, and Rodrigo up top. So, lads, I suppose we usually do the score predictions kind of halfway through, but I'll get score predictions on this game straight away. Conor, what do you think is going to happen in this game? And do you think Chelsea have a chance? Please, do you think we have a chance?
You have a chance of maybe winning this game. Of this game. Not the tie. They're not winning the tie. I think Chelsea have loaded the midfield because they couldn't handle the three in the middle against Madrid in the first leg. So that's probably why they've tried to fucking load them out of the game. But I think Chelsea will score, and then you'll have your tail up and you'll be fucking delighted, giving it loads. And then about 72 minutes in, Modric is going to kill the game and equalise. And it's going to finish 1-1.
Very precise. Paddy, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I just think Madrid will be a very professional performance. They'll keep it tight the whole game and they'll nick a goal. I think it'll be 1-0 to Madrid.
Lads, I'm gonna have to just go with it. I'm gonna say Chelsea are gonna win 2-0 and we're gonna win on penalties. And it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be magical. And look, you have to be confident. If you can't be confident, then just fake it till you make it, at least. So
if that happens, you can guarantee I won't be on next week.
I have to say, sorry, just before you go on, looking at this Chelsea side now, the way they brought in Potter just reminds me of when United brought in Moyes, and now the way they're signing players, the way it's being run, it's just, there's going to be 10 years of sorrow for you now. I'm sorry, but there is. The Abramovich era is over, and you're in for a lot of pain.
But do you not think that we have a lot better players than you had? Like, we
won the league. We had just won the league.
Yeah, but I mean, you had Fergie. You know, like he makes up a lot of that. You know,
go back and look at that side that we had. We won the league by 13 points, actually.
Anderson is a very underrated centre midfielder. Okay, and I won't have anybody tell me anything else.
Raphael and Fabio.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, Vidic, Van Persie, Rooney. Okay.
Well, all world beaters, can I say?
Yeah.
Not with them, you know. And then you're saying, fuck off. Right.
He got confused at some of the argument he was on there.
Yeah, what's the argument again?
I think I fought beside and then I just completely defeated myself there. Lads, we're gonna jump onto the first thing, which is the football review. Yeah, of course. The first fucking match we have to go on to is Real Madrid and Chelsea. Lads, I was giving it the large one in the WhatsApp group. Conor, sorry, Paddy, not the Beyond the Ball one, but a different one. But I was saying the whole game that Reece James and Chilwell were having stinkers. And what does Chilwell go and do? Absolute donkey. The chap is an absolute donkey. Every time he got the ball, he gave it away. It didn't look like he was arsed. And I don't know what it is. And people have been saying that Cucurella was fair enough. You could say Cucurella was at fault for the goal because he was for the sending off, because he was out of position and Chilwell was trying to cover him. But a better defender just gets around and just like makes it, doesn't have to pull them down. And just where's the confidence in your keeper? Just let him go and have a shot. Like, you get yourself sent off, and you run the risk of having to play against fucking 10 men for however it was, half an hour or whatever. And against a Real Madrid team, like, again, with 10 players, it's very fucking difficult. It's very difficult with 11 players as it is. But I was saying that all game, Chilwell was fucking shocking. And that summed it up for him. He didn't look arsed. He wasn't bothered. And he just made that stupid tackle, probably not giving a fuck. And then he puts an Instagram post on, which he was probably told to do by his PR team, and say, I had a sleep on it, and I'm sorry. I don't know what you're fucking sleeping on, because you should be instantly sorry after getting sent off. So I don't know why you had to have a sleep about it. Well, it was... I'm sorry.
Tell us how you really feel. I feel like you should be lying down, Collie, and you should be just taking notes.
Someone take notes, please. Somebody just fucking take notes here, right? I'm gonna... Hold on a sec. Oh, fuck. No, it was just coming the whole game, and I'm gonna say it. Chilwell hasn't been the same since he came back from that injury, and for me, Cucurella is a better option. And I know for whatever reason, Cucurella keeps getting played left of a centre three, which doesn't make sense. Potter was doing it, and it didn't make sense. And then Lampard came in, and for some reason did it. Now I don't know whether he did it because the familiarity for Cucurella in that position. Maybe that was it. But it doesn't make sense to have a fucking 5 foot nothing left back playing center of three. Like, he's not going to win any headers. Like, he's fair enough, he'll get around, cover a tackle. He's not going to win any headers, so I don't see why he was there. Other than that, lads, Chelsea, same old story. Played actually half decent, couldn't score a goal, and can't score a goal for the fucking life.
Collie's he stopped. I thought he
I froze, did I?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I'm sure it'll come through on the recording, but yeah, I just don't know I don't know. Chelsea aren't going to score goals, and that's just going to be the way it is. So, what did
Chelsea are going to beat Real Madrid 2-0 and win on penalties.
Yeah. But that's what I'm hoping. I know I got rudely frozen there, but what I did say, I was just hoping for a miracle. And that they can score 2 goals. Why is Kovacic going back to Kepa there?
Trying to stop you talking shit. I was like, all right, we're just freezing now because he's talking crap. We're sick of listening to him whining on. Fucking hell, shut up.
Lads, just watch. For fuck's sake. You know, I just this is supposed to be my safe place where I can come and I can talk about Chelsea and I can say how I really feel, and you're supposed to accept it. But you don't, right? You don't
when
accept
Chelsea
it.
Are playing like this is the place where I come as well.
Lads, what did you think of the first leg? Were you surprised by the result? Conor, maybe come to you first, sorry.
No, Paddy's dived in there. Go on, Paddy. Continue on to your
No, that's all I have.
No. Come on, what did you think? 2 balls in the pitch, ref. Paddy, anything else to add to that now?
Oh, the shit.
Get on, Paddy. I don't know whether you know this. This is a podcast. People want to listen to your opinions.
Okay. You're talking about the sending off, and you don't understand some of the reasoning why the players are doing what they're doing. It's because none of the squad have any confidence. Absolutely zero confidence. They got Frankie Lampard back. They thought you might get the new manager bounce. That's gone already. And this is me just giving you. Well, I'm happy to see it, but it's just not one of them players have any confidence whatsoever. And Kante is not the one you want that ball falling to there.
Absolute fuck am I watching? A fucking 5-yard sitter and the cunts hit it wide.
It's I
know
14 yards
maybe whatever it was. Fucking Jesus.
But look, I didn't actually watch the game because I'd rather watch paint dry than watch Chelsea at the moment. I'm only watching it right now because I'm doing the podcast. But yeah, Madrid, we said we're going to go through, or I was saying they were going to go through the whole time. You are living in fucking disbelief land and thinking that they're going to win the Champions League. They might go through the competition, but actually win the Champions League.
I was before the match going to put €20 on them to win it, and I think they were like 18 to 1 or something.
Tonight?
No, do you know what? I should have had a look tonight. I didn't have a look, but before the match, I think they were like 18 to 1 or something to win the whole competition.
Yeah, so is that enough? I had to really struggle there to think about stuff to say about the match.
Yeah, right. We'll move on.
Thanks.
You'll see. We'll see you pair up on the Man United's announced.
Come back to me when you're talking about United, will you?
Connor, what did you think of the first leg?
Professional from Madrid. Obviously, the sending off helped him, but I think he's the lesser of two evils. He's like, if you go 2-0 down, is the game then buried anyway? Instead, if we could maybe hold on to a 1-0 down to 10 men and see what happens. But it didn't matter anyway because it went 2-0 regardless. But I think Madrid needed that second goal. I think with the one goal going back, it would have been, I think, a completely different tie here. But they're a professional team. They know how to kill the game. They did against Liverpool. Obviously, they had a bigger cushion going to Anfield than they do now. But you could see them. They killed the game. They took the tempo and the sting out of the game early. They're just a professional outfit, really. I don't think they haven't got the best, like, they have quality, obviously, but if you're looking at squad to squad, they're not the highest quality team, I don't think, in the competition.
On paper, don't they? Like,
yeah. But they've obviously played with each other for a long time. They have the bit of experience in the middle and the pace out wide with Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. So it's professional. They won the game. They did what they had to do, and I can't see them having an issue here now.
Modric, one of the best midfielders of all time. Where would you put him in terms of top three?
No, even Duffy all of a sudden just joined the podcast.
No. Bill, why not tell you, Bill? Not of all time now. That's a bit of a fucking stretch, but like very good.
5, 6
of his era, he definitely is.
Yeah, I don't know about like all time. Yeah, I suppose he's up there. Like
one of the most decorated European players of all time.
Yeah, well, he'd have to be
Coronation Street.
Yeah, fucking was it Gale?
Gale Platt.
Like, what's he won? Fucking many Champions Leagues? 5? Was he there for 5?
5 or 6? 5.
It's
5 or 6.
Either way, like that's unbelievable. Look,
when he played for Spurs.
I know, yeah. That's the most surprising thing is that we've had a really successful footballer that was playing for Spurs. But like I was
him and Bale at the same time, and they still couldn't win it.
Yeah, well, look, that's typical Spurs being Spursy there, isn't it?
Van der Vaart.
Yeah, and Van der Vaart, what a player. But I was fucking praying that Chelsea, because Chelsea were heavily linked with Modric at one stage. I don't know whether it was from signing them from Spurs or whether he had made the move to Madrid. But Chelsea were seriously linked with buying him, and I was like, oh, please get him. He's exactly what we needed. But obviously, he's had a much better career at Real Madrid, so I don't think he's made the wrong decision. Look at him now. We could really use him. So, Conor, anything else to add to that first atrocious fucking leg for Chelsea?
No, but just one thing about Madrid as well, and some people had said that he was stuffed and then buried is like Toni Kroos. Like, he's either signing another 4-year deal now last week with Real Madrid to keep him there till... Sorry, 3-year deal, keep him there till 2026. So it's like, he was fucking washed out 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's back in the form of his life. So it's just... To have the two older boys in there and have the legs of Valverde, it's probably like the best midfield three going at the moment in the world. Except for Enzo, Kante and Kovacic. I'm just going to throw it out there. I think. And Conor Gallagher and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, but you see, you have to, like, it's like, you have to take the bad with the good as well, like, so. Yeah, all right, but then we'll move on. Paddy might perk up here now when we mention the next one. Well, maybe he won't. Yeah! Manchester United 2 and Sevilla 2. Paddy, Manchester United 4.
They didn't score.
You're right, they didn't score.
Yeah. Paddy, can you tell me why Eric Ten Hag is starting to lose this dressing room? Can you tell me why?
They won the weekend.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Go
on, tell us what happened here.
One of the points is you very rarely see United having 2 bad games in the bounce now, which, like last season before, was a regular occurrence. But the mistakes are still being made. It's not a perfect team coming from last season, which, we always knew it wouldn't be. But to get that game the weekend against Forest, which we'll talk about, like last season, we definitely would have been losing that, especially with the injuries we have, with the way we played in Europe during the week. That you wouldn't have been able to lift the players again, but we did. In terms of this game, I think what might have happened was he was getting a bit of criticism about Rashford's injury and whether he's overplaying players. So I think when we went 2-0 up, he changed things a bit too early. And when he made those changes, then we just lost our momentum and 2 silly goals. We were down to 10 men for the last 20 minutes when Martinez went off. He's out for the rest of the season. Big loss for us. Varane went off as well. And then Slabhead came in, which, to be honest with you, I'm actually feeling a little bit sorry for him now, because he came in, that own goal, like, so it's just calamitous. Like, then
Brilliant.
the weekend he comes in and he was very wobbly at the start of the Forest game, but they came through, got the clean sheet. Now I'm seeing clips of Anthony not celebrating him with him after the win and stuff. And
I felt bad when I seen that.
I did, so did I. That's not on. And considering he's the captain of the club as well, I hope that that's knocked on the head straight away, because respect should be given, irrespective of how you feel about a player, especially to the captain. But
there's never really been any kind of unprofessionalism from Harry Maguire, except for the quality of play, except for his ability and his talent.
No, I think not. If there's a few times where he hasn't taken the blame for the mistakes he's been making, he talks shit as in, like, I'm doing well for England, I'm doing this and all, and he wouldn't admit to saying, okay, I'm having a bad run of form here, I'm gonna make things better or whatever. He just blind, how would you say, fucking idiocy, really. He's just being a bit stupid, to be honest. You're not being able to admit to when he's gone wrong, and it looked really bad from a PR perspective. And being a captain of Manchester United, for that long of a run to be not playing well, you can't be there anymore. I can just see him being sold now in the summer. Absolutely.
I suppose the only unprofessional thing was when he battered your man over in fucking Greece. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
Headbutt him.
So, were you happy with how Manchester United play, and you think you were unlucky, or do you think Sevilla did deserve something of it?
No, they deserve something. We threw it away. In terms of, we were unlucky with the injury because we had no subs left then. But again, this was.
You get 5 of them to make, though, Paddy. You can make 5 subs.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It was bad management by Ten Hag for.
You heard it here. Paddy wants Ten Hag out. He wants him out. Flipped it.
No, I do think that the criticism about overplaying players with Rashford getting injured did have an element of why he did make all the changes, like, just after half time. We no one left to come on, and it was unfortunate, but we're still in the game. It's 2-2. I definitely think, considering how Eriksen done the weekend, Eriksen, we don't have Fernandes, we don't have Martinez, we probably won't have Varane, so it'll be tough to go there and win. But looking at Sevilla in the first half, they're not the team they used to be in this competition, and I do think we can get a result over there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think it's going to be tricky, like, over in Spain. It's not. I know that Sevilla aren't having the best season in the world. I think they were sitting 13th or so the last I checked.
They're like 13th or 14th.
Yeah, got a new manager as well. Manager got sacked and everything.
It's not a great look for United not being able to beat them. But then look, you beat fucking Barcelona, so who are sitting top of that league. So it's, you know what I mean. It's not everything to play for.
Look, it was just one of those days. We should. After the first 20 minutes, I was thinking we're going to win this 4 or 5-0. And that's, we were playing like we should have. Yeah. But Ten Hag made those changes, which took the momentum completely away from the game. 1 or 2 decisions got their players going, especially Anthony with the left back, I think it was, the Sevilla left back. And it just gave them a little bit of fight, a little bit of hope. And then the 2 own goals, calamitous from United. So, look, they just have to make up for it now next Thursday.
Conor, did you have a look at this game? What did you think? Were you kind of laughing at Manchester United's misfortunes there?
I only saw the second half of the game, but I had seen some of the clips on TikTok from, like, Mark Albridge and stuff, who had said at 2-0, we could play this game until the end of the season and Sevilla won't score. So the fact that they scored twice,
technically they didn't. He wasn't wrong.
But it's like, you couldn't have wrote the second goal. They couldn't have wrote it for fucking anybody else to score. Ahead of that was going out for a throw in to hit him in the head to go into the bottom corner. Like, you can't write that shit. Like,
you have to have a massive head for that to happen.
You do have to have a massive head, but yeah, it's not what you would have wanted at home. I thought, instead of making his changes, I don't know why he doesn't kill the game, and then all of a sudden he doesn't really have to worry about the second leg as much. kill the game off. We see it out at 2-0, 3-0, could have been 4. And then the second leg, you can start from there, probably with an FA Cup final, maybe coming up on over the hill as well. That gives you a chance to go and rest. But he has no option now but to go all guns blazing with the best 11 he has.
Only saving grace is that the away goals don't really count anymore.
Yeah, it is a kind of...
Own goals count for double, Paddy, so they're actually 4-2.
yeah. And a header. A header usually counts for 2, so that... And an own goal. These are technically 6-2 down, Paddy.
United are definitely getting red-arsed.
Paddy, a couple of things that I suppose, from talking to a few United fans outside of obviously the podcast, people are getting a lot more happier with how the likes of Anthony and stuff are performing. Are you finding he's being a bit more effective now in the last couple of games? He might not be... Well, I suppose, did he score? He scored the weekend, didn't he?
Scored and an assist the weekend against Forest.
His performances have been much better than he's been kind of given at the start of the season. He hasn't scored since the 3rd game of the season.
Yeah, no, he's been getting a lot better. Acclimatising into the Premier League. It does take players a while sometimes. You can see... what I want to see him going down on his right channel sometimes, because he always wants to cut in on the left and take that shot. But it works a lot of the time. He's a really, really good left foot. Frustrating because you can see rather than him taking a shot, he could be playing someone in to get a goal. So a little bit of maturity needs to come in there. But a goal and an assist the weekend, it's a definite improvement. He's been, involved in a good few goals recently, so happy with his progress so far. Hopefully he's actually works hard as well in terms of tracking back, so which is I think one of the reasons Ten Hag brought him in as well. 85 million is, look, nobody's worth that. They overpaid by a massive amount for him there, but look, he is, like, you pay what you pay. He's starting to put in some good performances now. He's only young. Him and Sancho, I think, could be the future United on the left and the right. The two of them are only 21. So let's see how it goes.
The other thing, the one other thing that you touched on there was the bad management by Ten Hag and the lack of rotation in the squad, and obviously
one game for one game.
Yeah, and people like kind of claiming that could be like the downfall of United. Sorry, I'm not reading something there. That can't be true.
It's not true, Collie, don't worry. But I just want to interject, Collie. Olivier Giroud has missed a penalty for AC Milan away to Napoli in the other tie.
Fair enough. Dylan McCartan is coming on and said 1-0 Real Madrid and Chelsea red card. I don't know whether he's talking about that could be his score prediction for this game.
I think it's a score prediction. I've checked that hasn't happened. So
okay, fair enough. Now, Paddy, what I wanted to touch on was you're saying about the squad rotation, but not being able to maybe have the players to bring on. Is that an actual problem that United have, that the squad depth at the moment isn't there? He has a really good 11, but possibly not a good kind of 16 or 18 squad of players. Are you happy?
No, I think you would have seen in a lot of games this season that he's made some really, really good substitutions. We've scored, our substitutes have scored more goals in the Premier League than any other team. So I think I think we do have a bit of depth there at this present moment. We don't. What?
Give us a lend one, will you? Fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's an issue. I do think there'll be a bit of a recycling job over the summer in terms of getting a few heads out and getting a few people in. Definitely need a striker and a centre back, I think, because Varane hasn't got that long left him. I think he's a bit unreliable in terms of his fitness. But yeah, all in all, happy enough.
Okay, very fair enough.
A few clips there for you, Collie. Doesn't trust Ten Hag. Varane has passed it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of negativity, and what I'm going to do now is clip Paddy saying Ten Hag out, and that's what I'm going to do, and people are going to hate you for it, and it's going to be hilarious. Lads, move on to the next one. We get off Man United for now. We have to go on to this one. Chelsea and fucking Brighton. Lads, do you know when, like...
Oh, here we go. Another 20 minutes of fucking whinging.
Do you know when you just... There's one thing that you want on your birthday, right? And it's just to have a good day.
This is PG right now.
Yeah. We'll say that now. But you just want to have a good day where nothing goes wrong, and could Chelsea do that for me? No. Right? They couldn't just give me one fucking thing. And all I wanted for my birthday was 3 points. And they couldn't fucking give it to me.
That's not all you want for your birthday.
That's all I wanted. It's all I wanted. If someone had said to me, you can have
new set of golf clubs.
You can have a new set of golf clubs, or you can have Chelsea winning at Stamford Bridge 3 points and they're back, baby. I'd have said, we're back, baby. And I'd have taken them 3 points. And then I would have went out and bought myself. And then I would have got myself some golf clubs to celebrate. But like, all I wanted was a fucking happy birthday, and I didn't fucking get it because Chelsea are shit, and they're about to concede here, and it's okay because they got away with it. But all I wanted was a fucking happy birthday, lads, and I wanted 3 points, and we couldn't get it. Like, I don't even know. Like, did you see the goal they scored against us? The second goal. Like, for fuck's sake, could you give us a break? Like, what team scores that? Teams score that type of goal against us every fucking week. And I don't know how to even fucking stop that anymore. Like, we keep saying it's unlucky, and I keep hearing that it's unlucky. We played well. We have to fucking start scoring because it's fucking embarrassing not scoring goals. I could put me up front and I'd probably do better. Do you know what? Put fucking Paddy up front. He's a fucking 6'4" giant, and he's not getting a game in centre back. He'll win a few headers. He might score a header. That'd be a better option.
You can have the Austrian sausage if you want.
Do you know what? I'd fucking take him. Sorry.
No, you wouldn't.
Dylan McCartney. Call you doing it's all right. Crying on his birthday.
Did you ever get a cake?
No, and I did get a cake as well, and that kind of cheered me up a little bit. But still, like, I wanted fucking 3 points. That was all I wanted. Lads, did you see the game, or what's your thoughts on the game? Paddy, like, what did Chelsea need? What did he need to do? Give me some positivity.
A time machine to go back to Abramovich era, and then tell Putin not to bomb the Ukraine so he can stay at Chelsea, and everything will be right with the world for you. But
where's the fun in that?
That's not happening. The Americans have coming in. USA, and you are screwed now. Absolutely screwed. You really are. I'm sorry, but 10 years of fucking pain and suffering.
Can I just say,
Nagelsmann's going to come in, and you're going to think, oh yeah, he's the man and all, and he'll fucking win nothing, and he'll be
Can
sacked.
I just say, right? If fucking Todd Bowley took managerial advice off James Corden to bring back Frank Lampard, I will personally go over and I'll assassinate him. Right? You can fucking clip it. I'll assassinate him if that is true. There's no way I believe that he took fucking, like, I've heard it from everybody that he took a fucking advice from James Corden, who, by the way, is a fucking West Ham fan. And apparently he was the one that told them to get Frank Lampard back. So, look, jeez, I don't know if that's true or not. Ridiculous. It's not something I want to believe. But also, he did think that we automatically qualified for the Champions League. And I don't know if that's true or not as well. There's a lot of stuff that I'm hearing that I don't know is true. And to be honest with you, I'm quite embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed that we have an American owner at the moment. And Conor, what did you think of this game?
Yeah, it was a little epoxy, wasn't it? It's the one game that Kepa played well, and the rest of the team couldn't get him fucking 3 points. So it was a weird change for him, especially, I'd say.
Score. You're 3 yards in front of the goal. Fucking score.
He's offside.
It's okay. Yeah, I'll allow it.
But yeah, it's the one day your goalkeeper tries to give you a dig out and the rest of the team fall apart. So it's just not falling in line with them at the moment.
Chelsea won't get an Nagelsmann, Dave says. Controversial. Nagelsmann are Enrique. Both of them are lined up to come in. I'd take Enrique. I think he suits the squad more, but I don't know. I'd take either one.
James Corden once.
Right. Do you want to add anything else to this fucking calamity? No. Okay.
Relegation battle.
Well, do you know what? Someone said to me on TikTok, if this was half a season, you should be in a relegation battle. I'm like, yeah, me uncle had balls, should be me auntie. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck off.
He does, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, yeah. He doesn't want anybody knowing though. Right, lads, the next one, Man City 3, Leicester 1. Lads, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna combine the two games with Arsenal and West Ham as well. Arsenal 2, West Ham 2. Arsenal have bottled it. Absolutely bottled it. and it's beautiful to watch. If there was nothing that cheered me up that day, it was that the same day? It's the next day, wasn't it? Anyway, the weekend, it was Arsenal just bottling the league, and it was a thing of beauty. Conor, what do you think? Do you think they've royally completely fucked it now, or do you think it all still comes down to that game against Man City?
I mean, it's out of their hands. So, like, again, we talk about the running that Arsenal have compared to City's running, and they're fucking polar opposites that Arsenal have in United, Chelsea, City, and Newcastle still to play, and City having none of them, I don't think. So they're polar opposite runnings. I do actually think now that it sets up for Arsenal to actually take points at the Etihad, because they go in pretty much as the underdogs. I think that's where they probably prefer to be. So yeah, I could see them probably getting points in that game, but not enough to stop City rolling through the rest of their games, to be honest. I think that'll be the only game that City have left that they'll drop points in.
Do you think Arsenal's squad depth is an issue?
I think the squad depth in regards to quality of player is there, but I don't think they have the experience needed in there. Like when we talk about Saliba being out injured and he's being replaced by Holding, who is a good defender in his own right, but definitely needs somebody alongside him to actually guide him through games. I think that's where it's really missing. Even if you go and you look at a more experienced defender who doesn't have the same quality or ability just to come in, just to kind of direct traffic, I think that's where they're really missing because the squad is so young and inexperienced. And they're suffering with those injuries more than other teams would.
Paddy, what do you reckon? Do you reckon they've blown it?
Yes, because I'm looking at the run-in as well. Arsenal definitely have a harder run-in. The only way they could turn it around is if they get a result against City. If they can beat City, I think that could be the confidence booster they need. But that's a massive, massive game, and I think it could be a title decider. I think if City win it, they'll go on and win the league. If Arsenal can win that game, they will go on and win the league. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
And where do you think City are going to drop points? Because City are going to have to drop more points than that to win the league. Or to lose the league.
Arsenal beat them, they'll still win the league and do all the games.
Arsenal beat them, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Controversial. I thought there were 4 points. I thought there was another point in it. Oh, I'm counting. Sorry.
4 points for Arsenal, though. If Arsenal win the game against City, they'll go on and win the league.
Arsenal are 4 points clear, and City have a game in hand, so City will be 1 point behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I'm thinking when they were level on points, I was thinking about that fucking the goal difference as a point. The Arsenal
the league, and Chelsea are third.
Chelsea not top of the league. No, Chelsea aren't in the. I thought Chelsea were challenging for the league. Lads, Haaland, we have to talk about this absolute monstrosity of a man. I don't think it's fair that he's allowed. I think
it's like a cheat code, isn't it?
He is a fucking absolute cheat code, and I think fair play to Pep because he's playing fair. He's letting him only have 45 minutes, and I think that's fair on everybody else because if he stayed on for a full 90 minutes, it would be fucking outrageous the amount of goals that he's getting. And I was saying it to one of the lads during the week that I think they have him in his fancy and they were moaning that he's not playing the 45 or the full 90 minutes. And I was thinking, right, if Pep didn't keep doing that, would he score his goals as early or would he not score as many thinking that he's going to not play the 90 minutes? Do you know what I mean? Is he going to
I think Pep takes him off to make him angry. So then the next game he comes on and that's why he's there fucking banging them in the first half because he's trying to prove a point.
Pep came out and said that he doesn't want them breaking Messi's record. Now, don't ask me why your manager would say that. Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense why your manager would say that. And I get why he does take him off because job done. It's like a fucking prostitute. You get what you want from him, then tell him to fuck off. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what
you could have made any other analogy, but you made a prostitute one.
Well, look, that was the one that made sense. So, yeah, I don't know. He's a different fucking breed of human and a different breed of striker. And I don't think there's any other striker that's as good as him. Lads, I'm going to ask you a question, and you can tell your opinion here. If I could offer you now Haaland or Mbappe, which one do you take? For your team. Think about your situation, your team, who benefits your team more.
For Liverpool, it's Haaland all day. You've already got Mo Salah, Diaz, Jota, Nunez, Gakpo wide players. Stick a fucking front man in between them.
Nunez is like a mascot or something. League away.
15 goals. 15 goals this season.
I would actually kill for a Nunez if I'm just going to throw it out there. I wouldn't mind having Nunez.
Yeah.
That's how desperate I am at the moment. Paddy, who would you have?
What's happened to you, Collie? Fucking hell.
I'd take anything. Paddy, it's desperation at this stage. It's embarrassing. Fucking hell. Who would you take, Paddy?
Who would I take? I don't know. I honestly don't know because, like, now watching Haaland, you can see he's proven in the Premier League. The only one caveat about Mbappe is, you know, could he do it in the Premier League? What he's doing at PSG. Age-wise, I think to fit the profile of United, the way they play, the front line, the way we play on the counter a lot, it could be that Mbappe would be more useful. But right, gun against me head right now, Haaland. Yeah, I'd have to say Haaland.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that decision. Lads, will we move off the Arsenal and West Ham? Covered that. Next one, Forest and Man United. Paddy, you're back up again. Look at what the eyes are out there.
Put me phone down now.
Talk to us about this performance and the results. We're happy overall.
Sick on it. Yeah, Harry Maguire wobbly at the start of the game. But the Ten Hag era, I think it's an indication of the difference he's made in the team. Where we fucked up against Sevilla, but we did not allow that fuck up to continue. And a lot of people said it to me: the injuries, everything else. You know, United are going to slip here, banana skin. And looking at the other results from the weekend as well, we nearly could have afforded to have a bad result. With the injuries that we had, but no, we got the 3 points and we capitalized on the other teams around us dropping points, which was good to see. Solid performance. Anthony, goal and assist. Another injury at the start though before the game, which was Sabitzer. Still don't know the extent of that injury. I'm hoping that he can come back in for the Sevilla game. But all in all, yeah, very positive performance. Even to have Lindelof and Maguire at centre back and get a clean sheet was very positive, considering Notts Forest do really go at you, really go at you. But yeah, we managed the game very well. Fernandez gets a break now against Sevilla because he's suspended. But yeah, very happy with the result. We look in a more commanding position now for the Champions League spot, so all's good.
Yeah, I think fucking Spurs are really fucking themselves over with this one, aren't they? Like it's like they just don't want it. I would love to see
sneak in.
What?
Chance Villa could sneak in.
Good evening. I would actually love to see. I'd love to see Villa or else Newcastle get it. Like it's something different. Like, you know, it's not two teams that we've had in a while. The Champions League.
Surprising result for Newcastle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look, I still think that Newcastle are. Look, they're having an unbelievable season. They probably might get Champions League, but I always feel like they're still beatable. They're still a beatable team. Like, and I don't know what that is. I don't know whether it's just fucking maybe their previous years, and you kind of don't expect them to always be that strong team. Like, but yeah, I mean the league doesn't lie. They're up there thereabouts in Champions League spots, so they're having a great season. But I still always think they're liable for a fucking catastrophic result like that one that they had. So, a little bit of damaging to their Champions League hopes, but Conor, what do you think? Do you think, sticking on the kind of the Newcastle thing, what way do you see the top four finishing?
Just before you say it, just to give you a quick rundown, United are on 59 points and played 30 games. Newcastle are on 56 points and played 30 games. Spurs have played 31 games and are 3 points behind, so 53 points. And Villa have played 31 games and have 50 points. So essentially they're 6 points behind Newcastle and have played a game more.
I think it's United Newcastle. Saying that, obviously Newcastle still have to play Arsenal. I think Newcastle and Spurs still have to play in the run-in as well, which could be a big one. But yeah, it's Newcastle's to lose. They've been up there all season. United Spurs next Thursday. I don't fancy Spurs to do anything against United anyway, but just I think the two of those could come up against each other to be a tasty game. But Newcastle have been there all season. There's no reason why they shouldn't be there come the end of the season, really. Yeah,
I mean, it's a great first. Well, are we going to call this their first? Is this the first season since the takeover, or is this kind of the
first full season?
First full season of takeover, and you have to admit, fair fucks them. Like they're doing really, really well. Like after that, like, Chelsea, we've seen it with. Oh, Eddie Howe, what a manager! And to be honest with you, I know like he's probably one of them that would have probably fallen into the same category as Potter maybe 2 or 3 years ago. With that kind of potential manager that has really good potential that could do something, and you just don't know what way it works out. But like he's nearly done what he done at fucking Bournemouth, where like he's just got a squad and he's really built them and has them playing a certain way, and he's done that. Yeah, and he's done that with Newcastle. And there wasn't as much pressure as obviously the likes of Potter would have had with doing it, trying to do it at Chelsea. But yeah, I don't know what way it's going to go for the last couple of weeks, and I think this game will be massive for Newcastle. But I'm talking about the Spurs and United game. Will be massive for Newcastle, but Newcastle really need to get a result to fucking capitalize on it. They have to. If there's going to be points dropped, they need to fucking get 3 points, and there can be no other result for them to guarantee top 4. Sorry, we're just looking at a break here from Real Madrid. Oh, thank God. Right, anything else to add for this, Connor?
Just United bashed Forest to deserve to win it. I think it's a different game. United 1-0 up and that penalty is given. It's a handball by Harry Maguire all day long. That changes to 1-1 and Forest fans start getting up. It opens the game up a little bit. It's just, again, the standard of officiating. Like, we have VAR for a reason. If it's not a penalty, well, then none of the other ones are penalties that are given during the weekend. Antonio's one is not a penalty as well. They're all being officiated from one location in Stockley Park. There seems to be no consistency. So it changes the course of the game.
How do we fix this? Like how do we do we have to rewrite the rules at this stage for all the handball? Like, surely we should be. Like, if we're changing the way the game is reffed, surely the rules have to change along with it. I know we have been making slight little changes here and there, but there should be concrete rules on handball. Like.
I think the people in the VAR room, it should be completely anonymous. People don't know who's controlling it, because I think there's an awful lot of pressure on the referees, especially for the bigger sides. So I think and then take away the referees that are reffing on the weekends, maybe get a private company or get people in to run the VAR office, whatever it is, and they're feeding to the referees the decisions, and the decision is completely taken out of referees' hands. So look, this is what's happening. We're calling it.
But like, even though one against United, they don't recommend for the referee to go have a look at it. If the referee has a look at the monitor and says, "I stand by this not being a penalty," well, then he can come out afterwards and answer as to why in his mind it's not a penalty. But the fact that VAR don't recommend that to him and just say you didn't see it, and I don't think it's a penalty, and the game goes on. It's
yeah.
And I know we're going to move on to it. Sorry, Paddy, just to finish, the Liverpool game last night, they spent 2 minutes looking at an offside that was clearly offside, having a back and forth conversation. Where I think it was Nunes was miles offside, and there was no need to have that conversation. And then we had a handball that's as blatant as Maguire's one at the weekend, that there's not even a 2-second chat as to should we have a look at it.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I totally do. I'm not arguing against the point you're making. I'm just saying, if they made it the people in the VAR room anonymous, there wouldn't be as much pressure on them. And then as well, to take away the referees that are in there that don't have any relationships with maybe players or clubs, because there can be an element of bias there.
Score!
Oh my God. It's a sitter. It's a fucking sitter. Some save.
Fucking score! Sorry, Paddy.
No, you're all right.
Well, he's not all right.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, fuck me, man. Like, what? Like,
right. Come on, back to the pod, lads. Come on, because people don't know what we're doing here.
He just came in his chucks, but angrily.
Yeah, the element of bias for referees in the VAR room, look, it exists. So if you have people in there that have no connection to clubs, referees, and they're not known, they just have a rule book and they stick to that rule book irrespective of anything else. That might fix the issue.
But I think they get. Sorry, I was going to say they get paid enough to own mistakes. They own mistakes. You get taken out of a player makes a mistake at the weekend, he gets dropped the following week. A referee makes a mistake, they get dropped the following week, or eventually they get fucking kicked out of the league. Or
Linesman elbows fucking Robertson in the face, gets dropped next week.
He missed a week and now he's back in this weekend. Come on, so it's
Robertson deserved an elbow.
He's a baby.
He does deserve an elbow in general.
Baby.
In general, he does, but like, yeah, it's just consistency is all I want. Like, it's just across the board.
Do you remember what happened? Was it with the West Ham game? And I always go back to the Chelsea one because fucking Souček jumps down, fucking saves it with his hand, and it's the same thing. There's no consistency in these type of decisions. That's why everybody's so up in arms about it. Because look, let's be honest, right? It takes them ages to do an offside, but once they kind of do it, everybody just accepts the decision, and like that's fair enough. We've got the right decision here. But like the handballs are just like an opinion as.
Well, it's not really, because like by the rules of the game, your hand has to be in an unnatural position, and his hand was in an unnatural position. Harry Maguire's was.
Yeah, it should be a blatant red. Or
it should have. If it was against United, I would have said, "Look, penalty all day long." So like, it probably should have been a penalty.
But like they said, the VAR boys are there to make recommendations. They can't make decisions. The referee makes the decision on the pitch. So like, at the end of the day, it goes back to him to say yes or no, because I've seen it and I still agree with the fact that it's not. And then the assessors and PGMOL come in and say you are wrong, you're dropped next week. Like,
and this whole thing of the fucking refs doing this and all, and I read or I heard a fucking, I think it could have been Mark Clattenburg or something like that, saying that they're basically like there's nothing going on there. They're just letting the player. They're doing that. You know, when the players run over and like give them abuse, they do this as if they're listening to what they're saying to them, but nothing's actually happening in that area. They're having a conversation amongst themselves.
Is that when someone walks over to you and you pretend to be on the phone?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
There was a handball given by VAR against Bruno Fernandes where the ball was kicked at his arm from, I mean, literally 2 feet away. There's no way he could have moved his hand out of the way. It was in a natural position by his side. It was outside the box, but VAR said, right, no, that's not a handball. Or it was a VAR, or maybe it was the ref. But it was never a handball.
Can't be VAR. It's not only a penalty can VAR get involved. So it's a free kick the referee gave it.
But still inconsistencies. It's still inconsistencies overall. Lads, we're gonna move off and we're gonna move on to the next one, right? Conor, welcome back to the podcast. Liverpool 1-6-1. Talk to us about this. We've all seen the clip of Jurgen Klopp going, "Oh my god, wow!" at the end of the game, where in the 92nd minute, Leeds win the ball, a breaking, and 4 Liverpool players surround them and fucking molest them and take the ball off them. We all seen that. It was good to see, but I think Klopp obviously is like fucking overreacting a little bit on that one, like, and trying to highlight that was the best part of the match. But obviously the 6 goals is fucking it's not nothing to snub your nose at, is it?
No, not at all. I missed the first half playing ball myself, so I came in at half time just to see Ibrahim Konate give the ball away to Sinisterra for the ball in the net, and I was like, here we fucking go. I was gonna turn it off then just so they could score a few goals, and I wasn't watching. But no, good to see Jota back on the score sheet. Hadn't scored in 22 or 23 games. So for him to get 2 was good. Pretty much everyone up top got a goal. Just looked hungry. But again, let's take the context of the same Leeds team conceded 4 goals against Crystal Palace last week. So who he scored the goals against as well, I think needs to be said. But they put Leeds to the sword. It was always going to be a tough game in Allen Road with Leeds and Liverpool. Did what they had to do, job done more than anything, I think. But need to start putting results together, because they went out and they beat United by 7 and then lost the next game. They beat Bournemouth by 9, lost the next game. Yeah. So they need to start putting results together. So a good draw last week. And I was against the Arsenal, but I would have taken a draw before that game.
Oh yeah,
a win against Leeds now, and they need to kick on and finish the season as strong as possible. Obviously, top 4 is dead and buried, but to go out to finish the season off with, say, 5 wins on the bounce would be nice.
You take Europa at this stage, as in you're happy to get Europa at this stage, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I prefer to be in something like that than out of them. It's always good just to still have European.
What about the Conference League? Would you like to be in that? I don't think I'd like to.
I mean, I wouldn't like to be in it, but
no,
like if that's where you,
I'd rather be out. I'd rather have nothing.
I don't know. If you get to a conference final, you're playing Dundalk in the final.
Yeah, exactly.
The showgrounds in Sligo.
Imagine doing a bus tour around Liverpool with the Conference League.
So if you win Europa, you get into Champions League. If you win the Conference, do you only go into Europa League next season? Is that the way it works?
So, yeah.
Seems like the most logical way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if that's the way it is or not. Anything else to add on it, Connor?
No, not really. It's still a fucking sloppy goal to give away. And Leeds didn't have a kick for the majority of the game that I saw, and then we give away a fucking piss poor goal. But other than that, it's a good win. It's 3 points, and as I said, hopefully they can replicate it again the rest of the season.
Connor, how do you feel about? I heard the news last week that Bellingham now is not an option because he'll be too expensive, and you'll be going for 2 or 3 other midfielders, which essentially means mid-tier midfielders who'll be a bit shitter than what Bellingham would have been. Like, is that really what you want to hear your team who was supposed to be challenging for the Premier League and the Champions League going for?
Well, it's not, but again, if the owners are going to stay where they are, let's be realistic. I kind of liked when Klopp came out and said one player isn't going to change his team, and I agree. If you said we can add one more player into the squad, nothing's going to change really. Let's be honest. So I do think they. Well, unless it's not, he can't play. He can't play midfield. I mean, he's having a mare over there. His boxing
digging the head off people.
Fairness.
They said he got his twin brother or something. That's where we said. I would think we got his twin brother. We didn't get Mane.
I thought you were referring to the Sané Mane thing. So Connor, you would rather? Well, Paddy, we did touch on it about the squad depth when Connor wasn't on the pod. About that Liverpool squad depth has deteriorated, and we could see it deteriorating over the last kind of 3 or 4 seasons. So it makes sense for a Liverpool fan to say, "I'd rather 3." Like, you're going to call them shitter players, but probably still do a job. Like, you know what I mean, in midfield or wherever they need to strengthen.
Yeah,
probably makes more sense.
But you're still going to be like, even when Liverpool weren't winning much, you know, but they still had Steven Gerrard say, you know what I mean? When through the best period they've ever had, they had Henderson in midfield, you know what I mean, as their captain. A couple of players around him. Firmino was really good as well. Like, but like what you would think as top quality players. If you're buying now 2 or 3 mid-tier players, who have they got at the club to nearly back them up? You know what I mean? Because you do need somebody who's really going to grab games by the scruff of the neck and win it for you, especially in midfield. But if they get 2 or 3 players, there's 2 or 3 players that, you know, they might be a bit younger. They have to, you know, build them up. You know, it's going to take a couple of seasons. Are Liverpool fans willing to wait until, you know, the team matures again to get the next cycle of one league and one Champions League in 30 years or something?
I mean, you're still talking about like a £60 million player. Like, United are basing their midfield pretty much off of Eriksen at the moment, who was a free transfer. So it can vary across the board. I still think you can get league winning players for 60 million, and if you buy 3 of them as opposed to spending 160 or 170 million on one player, it makes more of an impact across the squad. But like I saw last week, the journalist asked Klopp, does he want Jude Bellingham? And he said, well, yes, obviously. I think he said, like, if you ask a child if they want a Ferrari, they say yes, but they can't get one and they can't drive it. So what's the point? So, like, of course he wants them in, but again, if it's going to be a realistic thing of he knows he's got a budget he has to work within. The fans, where they don't like it, but it's tough shit, have a budget to work within. I'd rather have 3 50 or 60 million pound players come in than Jude Bellingham surrounded by what's there at the moment. Probably less, because those fringe players are going to leave during the summer. We kind of know that already. Probably Firmino's going to leave. Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to leave. Naby Keita's going to leave. So fringe players are going to be out of the club. You still have to replace them, as well as players who can go into a starting 11.
Saying, like you're saying 50, 60 million. I don't think you're going to be getting 3 midfield players for 50 or 60 million, because you need to cover in other positions as well. So like, you're looking
at selling a lot of those players as well. Like, not going for, well, Bobby Firmino's gone on a free, but you're looking at selling Naby Keita, who's still in contract. And there's been stupid prices talked for him of like 15 to 20 million in Germany, which is, I'd fucking pack his bags for them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you're still going to make up some. But yeah, you're right. But again, if that's what he has to work with, that's what he has to work with. I'd rather him come out and say that in advance of it, so people know, as opposed to say, we're going to go in for Jude Bellingham, and then you get to August, you don't buy him. Like,
but no, and I get that. Look, and I know you have to look on the bright side, but isn't it? It is disheartening. So if I'm Liverpool and look, he's worth fucking so close to winning the quadruple last season. The quadruple. And now it looks like you're going to go through a bit of a period of mediocrity again. You know, which is not what you want, because you're so close to elitism. And now you're talking about we can't sign the best players. We haven't got enough money, so we're going to have to buy.
They could never sign the best players. They never had enough money. That was always the way.
I don't know.
Think about who they bought. Yeah, they spent big on a goalkeeper and a centre half, probably the two biggest at the time. But they spent big because they had shipped out a fella for 120 million in that same season, and Philippe Coutinho. So like they don't
There's a lot
spend
of players in
big.
excess of 40-50 million in the Liverpool squad.
You'll be surprised at how few there is. There's not that many. Obviously, you have to do
like everyone's just talking about Van Dijk and Alisson, and that's it. But like you've got a lot of players there that cost more.
There's Darwin Núñez, yeah.
Robertson and Trent potentially around, maybe like probably Robertson more than fucking Trent in my opinion, because he's a better defender. But
no,
like,
not the award.
It's what we bought. It's players they've bought. I think they've bought more players.
Oh, sorry.
I'd like to know who Paddy.
What was Gakpo?
60 million a second ago. Gakpo 38.
So your recent signings, you look at your three recent signings, Gakpo, Diaz, and Núñez. That's your three.
Diaz was 30. Núñez obviously was the 75 plus the 20 million if you got top four, which you're not going to make, which is a nice thing. We're going to say 20 million on Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have Van Dijk, who was a big fee.
Kanate
was 38, I think.
Yeah, okay. So there is like, I mean, you're well able to get a player for them prices. Like, it doesn't have to be an 80, 90 million player. Like, you can get 2 or 3 30, 40 million players. And
hang on, Paddy's Googling at the moment. I can see the eyes.
No, I'm not. I'm not Googling that.
But yeah, no, like I understand why Paddy's asking that. You do have to have your little show pony that's fucking gonna run a team, and I'd love the owners.
The owners to fuck off. Some big boys come in with unlimited cash and they can just spend what they want. But there's no point in me sitting here wishing for that and then complaining who they buy. I know the situation at the moment. The fuckers aren't selling. They're being pushed and squeezed where they can, but they're not selling because they're investing in the community and the stadium and everything like that as well, which people seem happy with. So that's just the way it is, and it has been that way.
Right, lads, we're moving off. We're moving off this. We need to get the pod moving here. So I'm gonna take off this. Will we skip fancy football this week?
Yeah, fuck it.
Or we have a look at it. Skip it, yeah. Okay.
Nah, fuck it.
Right, fuck it. Right, lads, we're going to move on to the predictions. Right, lads, we are looking at the first one, which is Arsenal versus Southampton. There's not that many here. Lads, we'll probably wrap this up in the next kind of 5-10 minutes, will we? And then I can fuck off and cry myself to sleep about Sounds Chelsea. Good. Arsenal versus Newcastle or versus Southampton. Sorry, I had a stroke there. Conor, what do you think of this one?
There's going to really be one winner here. Let's be honest, the way Southampton are playing at the moment. I'm going to back Arsenal, and I'm going to get a clean sheet before they go into the City game. So 3-0 Arsenal, and we'll say Martinelli. Okay,
Paddy, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go for 1-0 Arsenal and Jesus.
Lads. I think Southampton will want to make a miraculous fucking recovery from relegation, the depths of despair. They're too far behind as it is, and they can't afford to drop any more points. And I think they're really going to want to try get some sort of result against Arsenal. And I don't know whether Arsenal are going to be the most confident at the moment. I think they'll feel a little bit maybe deflated that they've fucked away their best chance of winning a league. I think that's how they might feel. I don't think Arteta will want that, and he won't allow that, but I think that's just the way they're going to be. And I can see it being a 2-2 draw. And I'm going to say Saka.
Not another one?
Another one. But I think they're going to go 2-1 down, and then they're going to score a late fucking equaliser. They're going to get everyone back. They're going to be like, come on, we can win it. And then they won't win it. So 2-1 Sorry, 2-2, and it's going to be 2-1 to Southampton, and then Arsenal are going to score like 88th minute, and then they won't be able to score again. And Saka is going to score. On to the next one, lads. Liverpool and Forest. Conor, I'll come to you first. What do you think?
Forest pretty expansive, probably looking for a win, the same way they came flying out of the blocks against United the weekend. Hill can control the tempo early on. I think it's a comfortable win at home. And home is kind of where they've been playing their best stuff so far this season. I'm going to say 3-1 Liverpool. I think they will concede early. And I'm going to back. We'll go Jota. The back of his 2 goals.
Okay. Paddy, what do you think?
Yeah, comfortable enough win for Liverpool, I think. Especially the way Forest play, I think they'll be wide open for Liverpool's attacking players. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Liverpool win and Salah to score.
Yeah, I'm sticking same result as Paddy. I'm going to go 3-0, and I'm going to say Gakpo to score 2. Yeah. Now on to the next one. Paddy, Brighton versus Manchester United in the Cup, I believe. If you'd like to.
Yes, in the Cup final.
Cup final.
It's going to be a tough game. It's a bit rests upon who United have available to them. I do think we can get the win though against Brighton. So I'm going to go for United 2-1 and Rashford to score because I think he may be back. Okay.
Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, United missing players, but Brighton missing Evan Ferguson out of the squad for it. So I think that's a huge loss, especially when you're kind of looking for a target man to go a little bit more direct with against United pressure. I don't think Brighton are going to be able to deal with the counter from United. So I'm going to say United 2-0 and Martial. Is Martial available? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I had something in my head that he went off injured the weekend, but no, Martial.
I'm going to say 1-1, lads, and there's 2 legs in this, isn't there?
No.
So
Wembley. It's in Wembley, a bad thing.
Fuck's sake. What's wrong with me?
I thought you were taking the piss there. That's why I was laughing.
I can never remember which cups have the 2 legs and which fucking don't. All right, so there's 1 leg. I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say United win it on penalties. That's where I'm going to go. And I'm going to say Harry Maguire to score a header. Heard it here first.
In which goal?
Cool. Yeah, either goal. I'm leaving that open. You can decide that one. Just to score a header. I wonder did the bookies pay out on Maguire scoring a header if that one went in.
I think so.
Yeah. The writing says to score a header. I don't know.
Yeah, but goal scorers as well. I don't think they pay out for own goals.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Man City and Sheffield United, lads. I think this is going to be a spanking. City are going to play their B team and still going to beat them about 4-0. I'm going to say 4-0. Is Foden injured?
I don't know.
Haaland could play on his own in this game. They still win 3-0.
I'll say Bernardo Silva. I'm going to say City to win 4-0 and Bernardo Silva to score. Paddy?
3-0. Haaland score.
Okay.
On his own.
2-0 Alvarez.
Alvarez is a good one because he'll probably play in. Right, lads. We're going to end the podcast there because I want to go and watch the Real Madrid match. Sorry, the Chelsea match.
You called the Real Madrid?
No. We're going to watch the Chelsea match. It's 0-0 and the second half has just kicked off. Hopefully I'll probably do a reaction video, lads. Hopefully it's a good, happy one. And yeah, maybe I might jump onto Instagram after for the crack and see if anybody's willing to listen to me talk shy. We'll see what happens. But Conor, nice for joining us this week. It's nice to have you back.
Good to be back.
And Big Paddy, it was good to kind of listen to you talk shy about United.
That did not sound sincere whatsoever.
Because it wasn't.
It wasn't at all. So nice, Paddy.
Yeah. Thanks, Collie.
Yeah, thanks for that. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, make sure you hit subscribe, follow, like, comment, all that shit. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hit follow, hit subscribe. I don't know if you're able to do that, but you might be. Rate us 5 stars and share it with your mates and tell us we're deadly. Get on to us on
4 stars so we know you listen.
4-star pizza. Get onto our Instagram and our TikTok pages as well because there's some funny videos we put up there which people seem to like to take piss out of. So, right, lads, we will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we will talk to everybody then. Bye.